CoinDesk's research department has just released its 2021 second quarter report that covers Bitcoin, Ethereum, DeFi, stablecoins, and last but not least, NFTs. CoinDesk research associate George Kaloudis joins us to discuss the highlights. Hi there, George.
How's it going, guys?
All right, George. So we have a chart for this one. Let's take a look at the bull and bear market chart that was in your report. And you can tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, so it's good this morning. I say good. It's good this morning. I woke up and the prices are down big because what I'm about to say doesn't seem so incredibly bold. But we made the call about 2 weeks ago now that cryptocurrencies are in a bear market. And the reason we made it early in terms of how most people view it is that we as a group decided that a bear or bull market is determined by if the price of Bitcoin either increases by 20% or decreases by 20% and then doesn't recover that old price by 90 days. As you can see on the chart here, it says 76 days. So we called it a little bit early and we want to be proven wrong, but we feel as if in the next 2 days or so, which is how long it would take to get to 90 days, we will not be proved wrong. And if we are, I would love to realign my mental model, but it is interesting to see that now we're in a bear market following basically 400 days of up and to the right.
Yeah, it doesn't always pay to be right, does it? But all right, let's move on. Let's look at some other assets because you also have a chart comparing the performance of the CoinDesk 20 top assets.
Yeah,
hey, George, this is a really... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say this is a really interesting chart. There are just a couple really interesting data points in here. I'd love to hear your general assessment, but I'm curious, like, what's going on with XRP? You know, they're kind of like under scrutiny from the SEC. It's kind of funny to see them sort of going up like that. Then we have some other outliers like DOT going down. I'm just curious, like, what strikes you about this chart? What are some of the interesting things you notice, and how do you interpret it?
Yeah, so the big thing that we focused on, given that I focus primarily on Bitcoin and my colleague Christine Kim focuses on Ethereum, is the fact that there's a divergence from this past quarter between Ethereum gaining 20% and Bitcoin losing 40%. That almost never happens. There are so few quarters where that actually happens. And we wanted to sort of dial in as to why we thought that happened. We're not saying Ethereum's still off of its highs of about $4.2 thousand, but it gained this quarter, and what we think that can be attributed to is the growth of DeFi. You know, a lot of people, institutions and retail in general, are really, really focused and excited about the explosive growth and interest in DeFi. Now, I say that I want to caveat the fact, and this is something that Christine pointed out in our report that you can read about, is that there's something known as minor extractable value that is sort of lurking in the background, waiting to ruin the party. And it's somewhat of a technical nuance in how Ethereum miners work, but it is something that is in the background waiting to strike. In terms of XRP, and you see Cardano's up as well, we didn't focus really on the XRP narrative, just given the legal structures that are going on there. We didn't have much data that we wanted to dive into there.
I guess people don't care, right, about the legal problems for XRP.
Hey, George. George, I got to ask you about HASHRATE because, you know, we saw it take a hit recently, and obviously that's with a lot of miners leaving China, physically leaving China at least. What's it going to take for that HASHRATE to come back? Is it going to require price to come back up, or is it just going to come back when the miners come online? And you know, could talk a little bit about the relationship between the two, because we have people saying that HASHRATE is what drives price, and you have people who say price is what drives HASHRATE.
Yeah, that's the $1 trillion question there. If you can answer that, I would love to hear your points there. But when it comes to the HASHRATE falling, this is something that Emily has pointed out, just given her expertise in China, is that China banned mining for maybe the 50th time, and it seems like this time it actually stuck. Around May or June is when the ban started coming out from various Chinese provinces. And that was likely not an accident. And the fact that HASHRATE fell means that, yeah, it looks like they did go offline. And in terms of it coming back, we really, really don't know, right? My favorite social science phrase is, it depends. We don't know when or where this these miners are about to come back on. In terms of putting price and hash rate together, this feels like one of those things that is clearly separate from what the price action is doing, right? There was a big exogenous event. One of the largest economies, if not the largest economies in the world, came out and said, hey, you guys can't mine Bitcoin here. Figure out what to do with it, or face the consequences, whatever those may be. So I would say that this event in particular is not tied to the price performance. In terms of a recovery in the hash rate, we're just going to have to wait, right? There have been murmurs and rumors of an east to west migration for miners. We read stories about, or we, CoinDesk, have posted stories about miners airlifting from China, airlifting their rigs from China to Maryland, but we've also seen stories of them moving to Kazakhstan. So we don't know where they're going to go. We don't know when they're going to come back online. Are they going to wait to see if this is the 50th pump fake China has laid on us? We don't know.